Hey folks, welcome to the site. We're going to talk first about showcase camps. I'm going to save you a couple of $1,000s right now by what I'm going to tell you, okay? Showcase camps for some people is a dirty word, right? But I'm going to show you how to save a lot of money on showcase camps. Before you even think of attending a showcase camp, you have to have a good solid idea of what type of school you want to go to. Now, do you want to go to a school? Let's just map out some things that maybe would affect your decision. Do you want to go to a city, or do you want to go to the country? Okay. Do you want big, or do you want small? Okay. Do you want a certain type of majors? Okay. Do you want that's supposed to be a 4? Do you want a big program, or do you want a program that you can play at right away? These are just some simple factors. In my course, I go through all the factors that you have to have before you even think about going to a showcase camp. Why do you need to know these things? Because now, when you know these things, you can start to find schools that fit your criteria. So let's say you don't want to you want to go to a big baseball program, Division I, and you don't care if you sit a year or two, you just want to play for a big team. Well, that's going to affect the schools you go to. Let's say you want to go to a Division I school that's in a city. Well, that's going to limit your possibilities too. Let's say you want to go to a Division I that's in the city and has an economics major. Well, that will narrow your choices too, right? Let's say you want to go to a country school, a Division III school that's really small and has a wide variety of majors. That's also going to narrow your decision. So once you find that stuff out, then you can start to make some better choices, and you develop, number one, before you attend a showcase camp, is your list of schools. What schools do you want to go to? Now, even if that's not a defined list, you have to have an idea, okay? So let's just say, hey, if you want to go to a Division I school and you want Division I attention, you're going to have to go to bigger showcases. You want smaller schools, smaller attention, you're going to have to go to more select showcases, okay? But have a list, or at very least an idea. Because let me tell you what happens a lot of times. People go to showcase camps and a few things happen. Either they get no results, they don't know why, they don't get a good look. We all have been there, right? Or I get emails every day from people that say, I just spent $1,500 going out to a showcase camp, nobody even looked at my son. It happens, right? So the other thing is that people will go to a showcase and they'll have a good showcase, but none of the schools that they wanted to go to were there. So what they did is they wasted a lot of money impressing a bunch of people that they don't care about. Not a very good model, okay? If you have your list, here's what you do. Let's say you get your list down to like 10 schools, 10, 15 schools. 10 is good for me, but if it's bigger, it's bigger. At least get to 10 or 15. Then you ask those coaches via letter, email, phone call, what showcases they recommend. Now the showcases that they recommend, they will tell you which ones they're going to go to, right? So you might be able to spend $200 on a showcase that has 5 of the schools that you want to go to, rather than spend $1,500 traveling cross country to a showcase that impresses a bunch of coaches that you have no interest going to, okay? So make sure that you have your list, you have an idea, and then you ask the coaches which ones to go to. This is the most important thing. I see people all the time that go on the showcase clinic circuit, and you know what they're hoping for? They're hoping that somebody will find them and discover them. Well, that's another bad way to look at it, because you want the school that you choose. Because remember, you want all these factors. You want certain things that are important to you in a school. If you just go to the school that comes and chooses you, that is not going to be a recipe for success. In all of my years of doing this, that has never worked out, where a player went to a school just because they wanted them or they made the best offer. What always works out is a player that does their due diligence, finds all the criteria they want, and then goes out and finds the school that's right for them, or the bunch of schools that's right for them, and then they go and they look to attract attention from those schools. That always works out. Now let me give you another little golden nugget. What you do at the showcase is somewhat important, okay? But here's the thing. I'm going to give you BDA formula, okay? This is before, during, and after. What you do before the showcase and what you do after the showcase is sometimes more important than what you do during the showcase, okay? So before the showcase, let's say we're following my plan. You have your list, 5, 10 schools. You target them, you go to showcases you know that they're going to be at, and you're ready to go, right? Now most people will just show up. Here's where you're going to get ahead of the competition. Most people will just show up at the showcase and cross their fingers and hope something goes well. Another bad plan for making this work. What you want to do is start sending letters to these college coaches, letting them know that you're going to be at this showcase. Make sure they know what you look like, make sure they know your stats, they know your GPA, they know all that, your SAT, PSAT, all that good stuff. And make sure they know you're going to be there, and also ask them if there's a time where you could go up and shake their hand and introduce yourself. Very important, right? I had a kid who did not get into a very good showcase one time. He went to the showcase and started shaking hands with all the coaches. The one coach he met, because he shook his hand, the coach invited him up for a tryout. He got a $20,000 scholarship based on that. He would never have gotten if he didn't go there and meet the coaches. So always make sure that you're doing your before work. During, obviously, carry yourself the right way. Go and introduce yourself to the coach. Now what you do after is following up. And what you want to do after the follow-up is coach knows you're going to be there. Coach sees you. Now you got to follow up. So before, during, and after. And what you want is a yes or a no. Sometimes there's a maybe. Most times it's yes or no. So here's what you want to do. Follow up the coach, and you want to ask them, hey coach, I came to the showcase. I saw that you got a chance to look at me. Do you think I'm a fit for your school? You could write it a little better than that, but you know what I mean. You want to find out really quick. And if it's a yes, fine, let's continue the conversation. Maybe it's a maybe, let's continue the conversation. Sometimes it's just no. Now no is not bad, because no is good, because no takes them off the list so that you can move on and they can move on. Okay? So let's review. Get a list, get an idea of where you want to go, what you want to do. Ask the coaches which ones they go, which showcases they go to, and which ones they recommend. They'll tell you where they go. Then do your before, during, and after process to make sure that you get the most out of your showcases. Let me tell you something. One small showcase that has the 10 coaches that you want to is better than one large showcase that has 200 coaches all over the country and 1,000 kids and is a major national showcase. Just because it's big does not mean it's better. You got to find the one that's going to get you the most results.